Hello, this is Cas,
And Bell.
and we are here with a couple
couple
of
of
critics.
critics.
Okay. Well, we're going to start by doing our review of the Super Bowl that just happened. Kendrick Lamar was the headliner. And you know what? I'm going to let you go first, Bell, because at the end of the day, my timeline was crazy. I was going back and forth with people. It was crazy, and there's a
boy.
lot to say. But I'm going to let you talk first, and then I'm going to say my speech,
Okay.
then we go back and
All
forth.
right.
All right? Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl performance from yesterday. I mean, first of all, I will say, there's a lot of people out here that would never know who Kendrick was if it wasn't because of Drake. Let's be honest. Some of y'all don't even know what Kendrick stands for. You don't know anything about his music. It's not like you've been following his career for the last 15, 16 plus years. Hell, you don't even know his first album. You don't even know how many mixtapes he dropped, So now that, Drake, made Kendrick more popular than he was, because only the true hip hop fans knew who Kendrick was. But now that everybody, the world, Drake did that, he introduced the world to Kendrick. Now everybody wants to sit here and pretend like they've been a fan. Okay, so that's my take. As far as the performance wise, like I say, if you knew what Kendrick stood for, if you knew his music, if you even seen him in concert like we have, because I'm a huge Kendrick fan, I mean, I know all his albums, the last album, GNX, is not so great. I didn't care for it too much. That's the album that has the Drake diss and all of other little songs on it. That album to me was not one of his best albums whatsoever. That album to me is just below average from what I would expect from Kendrick. Okay. I mean, I go back with Kendrick all the way in 2010. And so I'm not even gonna, debate anyone about Kendrick. Hell, you don't even know his real stage name, K. Dot. So we're not even gonna talk about him at all in that aspect. What we're gonna talk about is just the performance only with these people. About the performance, did I like the performance? No. Was it a Kendrick performance? Yes. Was it entertaining? No. Was Kendrick delivering it in a very clever, artistic way like he always does? Yes. But that's about it. There's nothing to it. All these people going back and forth about what his messages meant and this, and that's where I have a problem with, because if you knew who Kendrick was, and if you follow him, if you listen to his music, he is very, very artistic, and he has a way of delivering his message very clever, very, very clever in his way of delivering it. And so I didn't expect anything less from him. Was I surprised that he was headlining? Yes, because I didn't think that Kendrick would be able to deliver an entertaining show, because I've seen him perform, because I know his music, I know his type of flow, and I knew that Super Bowl was not a place for him. When we are looking at the Super Bowl, we want entertainment. When I say entertainment, like Beyonce entertains, Beyonce deliver messages, but she also entertain at the same time, So don't sit here, but see, Kendrick, we already knew what Kendrick was gonna do. Like I say, if you're a fan of him, you already knew what he was going to deliver. Should the Super Bowl went to someone else? Yes, it should have. For one, it should have went too easy. I don't care what anybody say, talking about, oh, you want him to be out there and shit and have girls twerking and shaking ass and blah, blah, blah. Yes. That's what we want. That's what Super Bowl is not meant to educate us. We don't need education by watching damn football game.
Okay, all right. Well, so I definitely have to mirror how you say, but have a slightly different perspective of it. Now, this whole year for Kendrick has been a great year for him. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, last year.
Last year was a great year for him. He, the thing with Drake, at first Drake was winning, then he dropped Like Us, which is very catchy, very, very, very good song.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing against the song, right? And the problem I had, and I talked about this on my podcast, and I was going back and forth on the onto my timeline with a whole bunch of my friends and stuff like that regarding this. Last year, Not Like Us came out. Kendrick was he was going everywhere, and it was cool, right? Whatever. But then it turned into something that it shouldn't. It turned into this quote unquote cultural phenomenon, which it shouldn't have. You know, you had people from West Coast like Snoop Dogg and stuff saying, oh, Kendrick's the king of the West Coast now. And he did a show in LA where he brought out all Crips and Bloods and artists and played Not Like Us like 8 times in a row. Then he won 5 Grammy Awards, even though to me that's a slap in the face, because Pimp a Butterfly was a phenomenal album. One of the best rap albums. To me, it should be on the top 10 best rap albums. That should have won, but I think he lost to like Macklemore or somebody that year. But whatever. So he wins 5 Grammys for a song that he's calling somebody a pedophile. And to me, that's like beneath him. You know, he does a video and they praise him. Oh, he united the Bloods and the Crips for the day, but the next day they went back to killing. So, all right, fine, whatever. I thought it was a little bit too much overhyped, too crazy, but whatever. It's cool. You know, you shouldn't get that type of clout by dissing a Canadian. Let's be real. A half white boy Canadian. You know, even though Drake is huge, I get it, but like, come on now. But whatever. Fine, whatever. You know what? Make your money. Then I heard he was doing the Super Bowl. I thought it was horrible because it should have went to Lil Wayne. It's in New Orleans. Yeah. And it should have paid homage to New Orleans. It should have. And it should have been with Lil Wayne. He has way more hits that are recognized by both white and black people, more than Kendrick right now. You know, Weezy has a much more longer, been in the game longer. He has hits after hits after hits that would entertain the crowd. It was in New Orleans as well. You know, he would bought the Hot Boy shit. He may have bought out Master P or whatever. He would have made a homage to New Orleans. But let's be honest, it was
would have came out.
But let's be honest, it was political. Why? Because who is Lil Wayne? Who did Lil Wayne put out? Drake. You know what I'm saying? So it was a political move. Let's be honest. It wasn't because Kendrick really deserved it. Like last year, Usher deserved it. You know what I'm saying? You know, the artists that they deserved it. Rihanna deserved it. But did Kendrick deserve it? No, he did not. And they bypassed Lil Wayne because his connection with Drake. And they gave it to him. Now, I already knew this wasn't going to be a good performance. Now, not as far as for the Super Bowl. You know, Kendrick is a great artist. We've seen him. He's a great artist. I am a fan of him. I think, like I said, once I would say Pimp the Butterfly was a phenomenal album. His other ones were cool. Like Not Like Us was catchy. It was a cool song. It was a hit song, but it wasn't what people made it out to be. Shouldn't have been a cultural phenomenon. The performance, it's a K-Dot performance, subliminal message, deep. That's what he does, which is phenomenal. Right. But on the platform of Super Bowl, most people are either mad or sad at halftime because their team is either winning or losing, eating wings, drinking beer, having a good time. Most of the people that watch the Super Bowl are white people, not black people. Super Bowl is not a quote unquote black event. It's an American event. And to give a message of white supremacy and all that stuff, it's going over everybody's head. Because if you're going to see, the thing is, you're going to do a message, the message has to be impactful. And it has to be done in a way where people get it. His halftime show, you got to go back and watch like 80 times to get all of the messages he was doing. Oh, he did the Sony sign because Drake is signed to Sony. Or all this other stuff it's just too much. Our young black kids that are looking at that, they don't get it. Now, Beyonce's show was a statement that you got. Entertainment, but she came out in the Black Panther. We instantly knew she was showing to Black Panthers because she had the uniforms, the costumes, all that. We knew instantly. We didn't have to look at the Super Bowl halftime show with Beyonce 40 times to understand it. You saw it, it was good, but it was also entertainment. Kendrick's, you have to look at it. Now, I appreciate everything he did. But at the end of the day, it's not the time or the place at the Super Bowl because most people don't get it. White America is not going to get it. They don't really care. And let's be honest, the black culture, we're just going to do what we're doing today is talk about how deep it is, how everybody should love it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. Also, what I didn't like, Serena Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and forth with a whole bunch of people. They had her on there. That's Drake's ex. So it was a stab at Drake because his ex. Scissors his ex, whatever. Now, for one, any man that's riding on somebody's ex that he done screwed to diss him, to me, that's kind of simpish and pathetic in a sense. That's just a little bit too much. Like, dude, whatever. But Serena, the reason why I don't like Serena's part was because she's crip walking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she always has done that. And that's fine. She's from Compton. I get that. But 20 years ago, her sister got shot in a drive-by shooting by a Crip. Now, I stated that on my Facebook, and people were defending the Crip, saying, well, that was okay because it was an accident. Like, to me, that mentality is ridiculous because a gangbanger killed her by accident. It is okay for her to do the dance that is synonymous with that gang. They are not a peace-loving organization in Compton. They are not we're helping the community out. They have killed thousands of men, women, and children in the LA area. And you are perpetuating their dance to young America, commercializing it, making it cool. All these young people see that, oh, I'm a Crip walk, not understanding what that means. To me, that is culturally, that's cultural neglect to our people. Because you are promoting something that is negative towards our people. And to me, you're a married woman. For one, you're married to a white man. So at the end of the day, you talk about the culture, but then you go and you're sleeping with the culture that you're talking black power, but you're sleeping with the culture that is the reason why we're saying black power, which to me makes no sense. And two, you're a married woman. Why are you even trying to give stabs to your ex? Move on. Don't worry about that. To me, that was just petty, ridiculous, and it just had no place in it. And then lastly, the thing that got me mad was the people that were arguing and defending Kendrick and analyzing, and now everybody's a black scholar. Now, everybody's a goddamn black scholar on the net. Everybody's sitting there analyzing the blackness and all of this stuff. Everybody's sitting there. They're freaking, they're all counselors now. They want to break down his message. But what is it doing for the culture? What is anybody going to do now? What movement is happening? Nothing. Everybody's just going to argue all day long because black culture right now is, if you're with black culture, you have to be with anything that's supposedly quote unquote black culture. No matter what it is, even if it's helping our black culture, it doesn't matter. DEI didn't help black people, but at the end of the day, people are boycotting Target and make it like Target is the horrible when it didn't benefit us. But you know what? We don't do research. We don't understand. But if it's pro-black, according to the culture, if you're against it, you're anti-whatever. So to me, it makes no sense. All the rhetoric going on the internet right now, people analyzing it, going deep, talking about, it's deep. I saw a meme that somebody said, if Kendrick said beep bop beep bop boop boop boop, that people be like, oh, see, he was talking about the sounds of the slavery chains, and you know what I'm saying? Anything he would have done, people would have analyzed as some deep black scholarship, deep satin for our culture. And that's the problem with our people. All these people, these are the same people out here that freaking are doing things negative towards the culture, not supporting black people at all, wearing Louis Vuitton red bottoms all the time, want to buy the white product, but at the end of the day, they're all about the blackness, but black business came and go be pushed by them.
I ain't got nothing against Louis.
No, I'm not saying no. There's nothing against Louis Vuitton or none of that. I'm not saying that, but it's the culture where we don't support anything black.
I know.
But they're the ones that are going to be wearing Asian weave, Jordan sneakers that obviously only not going to the black people, Louis Vuitton, nails, all this stuff. We support every other culture, but we don't support our own. But goddamn, Kendrick Lamar really came deep, and we got to analyze it and tell other black people that they're wrong because they're not deep and understand. See, K-Dot said that it will be over your head. So yeah, it's over your head as a black person. Ridiculous. So I did not like the show. I think it was bad for the culture. I think, promoting, also I don't like promoting gang culture as black culture. You don't see no other culture promoting anything that is negative towards the culture. You don't see white people saying, I unite the KKK and Nazis and yay. No, they don't do that at the end of the day. You don't see Spanish people saying, yay, Latin Kings and M13 are uniting today. Yay, let's promote. No, you don't see the Asians, the Usaka, and no, they don't do that because at the end of the day, those are negatives on the culture and they don't want to promote it. Is it part of their culture? Is it things? Yes, but they don't go out there and they're doing merchandise and, you don't see freaking, white people putting MS-13 flags in their back pockets and promoting this. No, but black people, oh no, we're going to crip walk. We're going to wear blue and black bandanas. We're gonna wear everything that gangs do to kill people. We're going to do all that and make money, put it in our music, promote it. And yes, there is a systematic racism. There are white people making money off of this. Yes, and they are pushing the agenda. But they can't push the agenda unless we allow them to. And we allow them to. So to me, it was horrible. I get it. I'm a fan of, I get his deepness and what he was trying to say. But America, you know what they saw? A nigga that was crip walking with a Pontiac, with a whole bunch of people with do-rags, with a whole bunch of ghetto-ness. That's what white America saw. They did not see a message about white supremacy. And they were happy because they saw Samuel L. Jackson, because a whole bunch of white people like Samuel L. Jackson. That's all they saw. But, I digress because, I'm not black enough to speak about that because, anything against the black culture is negative. So I'm done.
Well, that was a lot.
Yes, it was.
So, I mean, I'm just going to kind of, take it to where you did mention. So let's talk about, I'm not even going to talk about systematic racism. I'm not going to talk about that at all. What I am going to talk about is people are putting two black men, in my opinion, against each other. We have Kendrick and we have Drake, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're putting them against each other. So we're saying that Drake is the problem. He's a problem for the culture. Kendrick is the Messiah, in a sense, the savior for the culture. But what we fail to realize is they are both in the same industry. They're both on the same level. They both work for the music industry. Mm-hmm. There's not a division where one is here. Okay, first of all, the halftime show is, just NFL, it's $1 billion industry. Mm-hmm. You really think that these people, and when I say these people, I mean the people that control it all, because it's a small group of the elites that control everything and control our message. You really think they didn't know this was going to happen? You guys really sat there and say, oh, he's going against. No, he is not. He is not at all. He is doing the same damn thing that Drake does, that Jay-Z do, that every single artist in the industry that are mainstream do. There's no difference.
They're not going to go against the money.
They're not going to go against the money. The thing is, it's a very small group that controls the media, that controls the narrative. To be honest, it has nothing to do about race. And so when you say that, that's what goes over people's head because they're like, whoa, it's a systematic racism. And no, it is not. What it is about is two things: power and economics. That is all it's about.
Because, and just let me chime in real quick. I just want to chime in right here. Because our struggle is a payday for them. See, our struggle is entertaining to them. Us speaking black power now and doing all that political stuff is entertaining, and they make money off of it.
And it's not just a race thing. It is not a black thing. It is not a white thing. It's not an Asian thing. It is not a anything else. What it is simple: power and economics. That's all it is. Why? Because controversy sells. They already knew that when Kendrick gets on that stage, they already knew it was going to bring up division. They already knew everyone was going to talk about the message he was trying to portray. And they knew that everyone who didn't like Drake is going to go on the bandwagon and so on. Why? Because it feeds into their narrative. And it's only about control. What they control for you to see, to know the narrative. They control it all. And then, of course, money. That's all it is. So Kendrick did not do anything to go against those people. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He did exactly what those people told him to do. And y'all could sit here and debate about Drake, and Biden. And for goodness gracious, he is biracial, all right, y'all? Who cares? He has a white mom and a black dad. He is biracial. Enough with this. He cannot say nigger. You can't say nigger either. Black people should not be saying nigger in the first place. And now let's take it back. If you are a true Kendrick fan, his wife, his longtime baby mama, girlfriend, fiance, she's biracial. So what does that make him? So don't sit here and keep putting people in these boxes, because again, that's what they want. They want to control the narrative, and they've done great with that. They control the narrative. Now, black people going back and forth on the internet, everyone is a scholar. Everyone's trying to dissect exactly the meaning, what Kendrick was. Kendrick has done this for his entire career. He will put out subliminal messages. He will put out subliminal videos. If you actually are a fan and you listen to Kendrick, he talks about all types of stuff. All right. It's not just black power. Kendrick talks about a lot of things. The thing I love about Kendrick, he's a conscious rapper. His flow, his rhymes, his lyrics, Now, I will say the only person that I know that could go in today's time that could actually go against Kendrick would be J. Cole. Now, everybody wants to say, J. Cole knew when to back out. He knew because he did not want to feed that elite narrative. It is a small group that controls everything. And you guys are failing to realize that, because why? We're sitting here arguing, going back and forth. Again, division. So there's no unity. He did not unify us. It's division. Divided us.
And who's making money off of Kendrick?
Not you.
See,
you're not making money.
Let's be honest. Kendrick left TDE, a black-owned label that he signed to early in his career, that put out all those hits, all those songs, that ride with him for a career. A black-owned label, TDE. He left them. And went to a label, a major label.
I was going to say there's a slight correction there, but okay.
Well, he didn't leave them?
No. So.
Well, his contract was up.
Yes, his contract was up, but it wasn't. He didn't have the best of his albums with TDE, but
Pimp a Butterfly was with TDE.
Okay, so his first album I think came out in 2011. I think.
All right, but was Pimp a Butterfly with TDE?
No, I don't believe Pimp was Butterfly. I don't believe Pimp was Butterfly because 2011 was his first. His second album I think came out a year later, which TDE. Was
he's a TDE.
G.O.D.
Yeah, he was
Kid. And then,
but baby, he was a TDE for Pimp a Butterfly.
Okay, that's fine.
But whatever,
that's fine. It doesn't matter.
But whatever,
it doesn't matter.
He was with a black label, right? That they have him, they have Sir, they have Scissor, you know what I'm saying? Other black artists, right? He was with them. He left them, right? And he's with a major label directly. I think he's with Universal right now directly, right? Now, I'm not saying business wise it wasn't good, but let's just speak about black power, right? Now, instead of somebody going back to the black label with black people, now all that money from this success is going right to Universal. Shout out to Universal. I know the dudes, you know what I'm saying? They're two alumni of my university, you know what I'm saying? But all that money is going to the white label. All this success Kendrick is having right now is going to the label, white people. All the money that the Super Bowl has made, where's it going? It's not going to the black community. His message that he did so much on, he didn't get paid because you don't get paid for Super Bowl. But the streams he's getting, the attention he's getting, the label's getting money. The sponsorships, everything, the labels getting money, the copyright, the publishing, the labels getting the money. He don't own 100% of his publishing.
Okay. So
You know what I'm saying?
he actually he concluded his 10-year in contract with them and Aftermath, because he was with Aftermath as well, because he had to deal with Dr. Dre. And so actually 2022, because that double album he had, that was his last album with them.
Okay, but Pimp Above Fire was with them. That's what I'm saying. Pimp Above, which to me is his best album, point blank, to me. But what I'm saying is now none of the black people that was with you during that tenure are getting money. So it's not going back to black people right now. This fame you had this whole year, it just so happens the year after you left TDE or your contract was done, which is cool, no problem. But instead of re-signing whatever, you're doing on your own. But now your money is not even reaching anybody black now. It's going right to the major labels. So everything, all this, and it's funny, you think all this success he has right now, think about it. All this success he has right now, who's making the money? You know what I'm saying? Black people ain't. So to me, it's like you do it. People talk all that shit about they do it. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you have to be the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you can't just do your music and enjoy your life. But when you are, if people proclaiming, acting like you are the Messiah, then I'm going to call out, what is this person really doing for the culture? And let's be honest, what is a diss song about calling another black man a pedophile doing for our culture? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, it's not really, to me, regardless of, of what Kendrick stood for and still stands for, people put that label on him as the Messiah. I mean, people put that label on Tupac, I mean, the thing is, what people don't understand is that Kendrick dad was part of a gang, So growing up so he's seen all the growing up in Compton, his dad was part of the gang. So he grew up in that culture, in that life. And if people actually knew Kendrick, a lot of his music stemmed from that, from his, experiences and stuff. And so he's a great storyteller, and he's talking about his truth or what, and everything. And so I don't think, saying that, people crowning him as the Black Messiah or whatever the hell, makes any sense, because he's not, I don't even think Kendrick ever said he was that.
This is what I'm gonna say, and then you could close out if you want. Malcolm X says something right years ago when he was alive. He said, and you could go online and look at this, he said that we're the only culture that make artists and people that aren't leaders. He was like, you don't see any of the other cultures making artists, TV hosts, sports analysts, leaders.
Trump is the president.
Wait, hold on. No, I'm just saying, no, what I'm saying is, no, but Trump was a businessman. You know what I'm saying? He's a business. That's different. We're talking about artists. We're talking about TV hosts. We're talking about sports figures. No other culture views these people as leaders of their culture. They're entertaining or whatever. They're their prestige and all that, but they don't speak for the culture. You know what I'm saying? We're the only culture that has an expectation and allows these people to speak for the culture. And to me, that is horrible. Malcolm X said it. He was like, those aren't the leaders. They should not be the leaders that represent the culture. They should be what they are. If they have their views or what they want, that's fine, but they shouldn't be seen as leaders. Like, we shouldn't care what LeBron James says. We shouldn't care what an artist say or R&B artist say. We shouldn't care what Oprah says. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we should care about what the leaders say, but we're the only culture that doesn't do that. And unfortunately, with that mentality, because like somebody like Kendrick Lamar that was raised in the gang culture, he becomes a leader, and he portrays that to our culture, and it becomes part of the culture because we look at that as leadership, and that's a problem. And I think, like I said, no bash to Kendrick, great artist. Don't get me wrong. He's a great artist. Pimp a Butterfly to me was one of the greatest albums of all time. And he gets his I think he gets his flowers. But at the end of the day, I don't like how he got his flowers this year from a diss song. I don't like what the industry has done to push this agenda. And we are all just diving into this agenda because, like you said, they knew what they were doing putting this out. You know, you think any other white artist would be on TV? You're not going to see freaking, let's name a white artist. Taylor Swift calling freaking, Ariana Grande a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? They would never allow that. They would never allow that. They would never allow that type of discord. They would never. But we allow it. And who makes money from it? They make money from it. Not us. They do. But we sit here and we promote it and we argue about it all day long. And I think it's just wrong. Like I said, nothing against Kendrick Lamar. He's a great artist, great show. I get the message, but it wasn't the time. It wasn't the place, and it's not going to make an impact. And it's not us that's going to benefit from this. They are benefited from our culture of negativity, and it's not us.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like I said, I just wish all of these newcomers that have no idea who Kendrick is or what he ever stood for, I wish, everyone could shut the hell up and go back to listening whoever the hell you were listening to before Kendrick. Because like I say, the true fans understand and know and love Kendrick for what he does. Do I wish he should have turned down the Super Bowl? Yes, I wish he would have. Like Drake turned it down a couple of times, and I would have wished that he would have done that also, because to me that would have made more of an impact than actually performing, because then that would have been like, okay, so he is really for the culture. He's not about the money for the money. He's not about for the fame. He's not about for all this rule and rah. He is truly for the culture, because he's turning down the biggest platform in the world and saying no.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we appreciate everybody. Like I said, we don't do many podcasts with a couple of critics, but we appreciate everybody that's been reading our articles, our reviews. We definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
And if you're a critic yourself, hey, we're open. Go to our page. We have a page where you can sign up to be a critic. Give us your ideas of what you want to do. If you either have it going on already or you're new, let us know. Maybe we could work something out. But we appreciate everybody's reviewing the reviews. And, we started this from scratch. This is an idea that we've been building for a few years now, and we finally were able to launch it officially, late last year.
Yep.
And we appreciate the love, and it's growing slowly, and we appreciate the love, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, until next time, couple of critics.
Good night.